Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. This is a great crowd. Please have a seat. Well, first of all, let me thank your wonderful First Lady, a woman of extraordinary character and accomplishment, and who has become just a great, great friend. Please give it up for First Lady Ann Holden, please. I want to thank the principal here at Robinson, Dan Meyer. And to all the faculty and staff and students who may have taken time away from their summer activities to be here. To Superintendent Dr. Jack Dale and his lovely wife, thank you so much for being here. We've got Chairman of the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors and congressional candidate, Jerry Conley. Give Jerry a big round of applause. And we've got another candidate for Congress in the 10th, Judy Fader. Give Judy a big round of applause. And finally, just to show you that we are working hard, I've got a little thing I want to do before my remarks, and that is, we are always looking for more volunteers. Always. We've got a lot of volunteers. We want more. So if you are interested in getting involved in this campaign, please fill one of these out. We've got volunteers out there that are going to be passing them out. If you fill it out, somebody will contact you. And it may just be for a couple hours. It may be that you decide you really want to be involved in the campaign in a more extensive way. Whatever you are willing to do on behalf of the campaign, we are going to be grateful for it. So please fill some of these out. All right? Now, even though this is a big crowd, this is going to be designed as a town hall meeting. So I'm going to want to spend most of my time answering questions or getting comments from people. But I do want to go ahead and just make a few remarks at the front. You know, it is wonderful to be back in Virginia. We did well in the primary in Virginia, and we want to do well in the general election in Virginia. And I want to spend some time here talking about what we've been discussing for the last couple of days, and that is the economic challenges that everybody's facing, but women in particular are facing. And I come to this conversation not just as a candidate for president or a United States senator, but as the father of two young daughters who one day are going to have careers and families of their own. I also come to it as a son, a grandson, and a husband who's seen the women in my life confront so many of these challenges myself, or themselves. Growing up, I saw my mother, who was a young single mom, put herself through school and ultimately follow her passions for helping others while raising me and my sister. She became a specialist in international development and microfinancing, and she'd go to small villages all around the world and help women get the financing they need to set up their own businesses so they could have a little bit of economic freedom. And so that was something she loved to do, but I remember when she was young and still getting her degree, struggling to provide for us, worrying sometimes about how she was going to pay the bills while she was raising us and going to school on her own. There were a couple times where she had to swallow her pride and get some food stamps to make sure that we had enough to eat. And so I know how tough it can be for a lot of women out there. I saw my grandmother, who helped raise me. And she had grown up in a small Kansas town, married my grandfather out of high school. He went off to fight in World War II. She was one of those Rosie the Riveters. She worked on a bomber assembly line while looking after my mom, a baby at home, a baby who had been born in Fort Leavenworth. And when my grandfather returned, he got the GI Bill, so he could go to college, but the women didn't. And so she never got a college education. She started working as a secretary when they had moved to Hawaii. And because of her grit and determination, she ended up working her way up to become the first woman vice president of a bank in Hawaii, despite the fact that she never got more than a high school degree. But I also saw how she ultimately hit the glass ceiling, how men that she had trained who were not more qualified than her ended up moving up that corporate ladder. And of course, I've seen my wife, Michelle, the rock, the foundation of the Obama family. I have seen her juggle jobs and parenting with more skill and grace than anybody I know, and she looks so good doing it. But I've also seen how it pulls at her, it tears at her. How sometimes when she's with the girls, she's worrying about her work, and when she's with her on the job, she's worrying about the girls. And although she does a remarkable job, she feels at times overwhelmed, feeling as if she isn't doing good at anything. And obviously that's not unusual. And then when she comes home, she's got the jobs that come once the workday ends, whether it's cleaning the house or paying the bills or buying the groceries or helping with that science project or enforcing bedtimes. The jobs you don't get paid for, but that hold our families together. Jobs that still, in 2008, despite so-called enlightened husbands, still somehow end up falling to women. It's something I hear all the time from working parents, especially working women, many of whom are working even more than one job to make ends meet. I just want everybody to be clear, these issues we're talking about aren't just women's issues. When a job doesn't offer family leave, that also hurts men who may want to care for a newborn baby or an ailing parent. When there's no affordable child care or after-school programs, that hurts children who wind up in second-rate care or have a TV as a babysitter. When women just make 77 cents for every dollar that a man makes, that doesn't just hurt women, it hurts families who have less income in order to do what they need to do. We take it for granted that women are the backbone of our families, but we all too often ignore the fact that women are also the backbone of our middle class. And we won't truly have an economy that puts the needs of the middle class first until we ensure that when it comes to pay and benefits at work, women are treated like the equal partners that they are. So you'd think that solving these problems would be one of the nation's highest priorities. But while some politicians in Washington make a lot of noise about family values, when it comes to what people and families actually need, the care, the resources they need to care and support families, suddenly these same politicians get awfully quiet. And year after year, it just gets harder for working parents, especially working women, to make a living while raising their kids. And that's why it's time to change Washington. Now, Senator McCain is an honorable man. He has rendered extraordinary service to this nation, and we deeply respect that service. But when you look at our records, you look at our plans on the economic issues that matter most to women, it becomes very clear that he will not bring change, and I will. That starts with acknowledging the economic difficulties that so many families and so many women are experiencing right now. If you can't see the problem, you're not going to solve it.